Hi there, and welcome to another great episode of Inspired By. So as I mentioned previously, it's pumpkin everything season. So today, we're going to be making a pumpkin soup that is actually based off the recipe that they use at the Sunshine Seasons food court in Epcot. Sunshine Seasons is a great grab-and-go restaurant. It's a counter service and they have all sorts of food there. And one of my favorite things about that particular food court dining area is the food that they have there. A lot of it is grown on site. So if you've ever been on that Living with the Land ride, where I've actually mentioned this before in my pesto video, you get to go and you get to learn about a lot of gardening, agriculture, hydroponics, aquaponics, and a lot of things like that. All the food and like the vegetables and fruits that they grow there, they actually use in a lot of the dining establishments, and Sunshine Seasons is one of them. So today's pumpkin soup recipe is based on on their recipe. There are some variations that I have made. I am doing this lactose free, so I'm not using heavy cream. Instead, I will be using coconut milk. The original recipe called for vegetable bouillon, but a lot of times bouillons are made up of a lot of chemicals, so I opted to use just some chicken broth instead. Feel free to use vegetable broth if you want to keep this totally vegetarian. Let's go enjoy. To make this pumpkin soup, you're going to need the following ingredients. You'll need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and that we have right here. You're going to need 1 small onion. We have 1 onion right here, and we're going to be chopping that up and dicing it. Then you're going to need 1 cup of diced butternut squash, which we have already prepped right here in this cup. The next, you're going to need 3 cups of canned pumpkin, which is about 1.5 15-ounce cans. So if you saw my emergency pumpkin video, that's our pumpkin puree. Next up, we're going to need honey, and that's going to be about 1 tablespoon. We'll need 2 cups of water. That's all measured out right here. We're going to need 1/4 cup of apple cider, and we have that right there. Next up, we're going to need just a splash of chicken broth. And then we're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of curry powder. And I love the Penzeys brands of spices. You'll notice I use them a lot. Next up, we're going to need some salt. I'm going to have that right there. We're going to need some pepper. We'll need some cinnamon. And we'll need some coconut milk. So, again, with the coconut milk, I like to use the kind that does not have any guar gum. So the first step is going to be sauteing the onions and the squash. So we're going to pour in that 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Once the oil heats up a little bit, we're going to add that diced onion and the butternut squash. And we're going to saute that for about 8 to 10 minutes or until the squash is tender. Okay, once these butternut squash are tender, which basically means I can take this plastic spoon and just push through one of the pieces, it's ready for the next step. So next, all those other ingredients I showed you before, time to put those in. Okay, now that we have all of the ingredients in the pot, we're going to just stir it up and make sure everything gets combined very well. And then we're going to bring this to a boil. Once it boils, we're going to then drop the heat and it's going to simmer for about 1/2 hour to 45 minutes. Okay, so this has been cooking and it's been on for about 1/2 hour, maybe 35 minutes or so. And we are ready for our next step. So we have 2 options here. We can either, 1, take this off the heat and let it cool and put it into a regular blender. Or two, what I'm gonna do is I have what's called an immersion blender. And this is basically like a handheld blender, and I'm gonna put this in here and it's gonna blend up everything. Okay, we did it. We have our pumpkin soup. So let's give it a try. That's delicious. That's really, I'm gonna. So the best way I can describe this would be it tastes like autumn. The curry and the cinnamon work together so perfectly. It tastes exactly like what I would expect autumn to taste like in my brain. It's absolutely delicious. I really, really recommend this recipe. Go out, try it. If you need to make any kind of variations, if you have, if you want to do the heavy cream instead of the coconut milk, go for it. Make it yours. But as is, this is great. So, I'm gonna go finish this, but if you like this recipe, if you like what you saw, if you want to see more, or if you want to let me know what you want to see, leave me a comment below. Let me know if you tried this and how it came out, and also any other recipes you might want me to try. So if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and hit the bell button if you want to see the next time that I post something. So until then, stay inspired by.